What's up, everyone, and welcome back to the Stocks with Mike and Tom show. We have an awesome video today. We have to talk a lot about stock earnings, some important news with Twitter, and just the most important stocks for tomorrow. So we have a great video today. Make sure to stick with us to the end and let us know what stocks you are watching in the comments down below. A lot of the times, the comments you leave down below are the stocks that we end up covering. So make sure to let us know. But Tom, let's get right into it.
Yeah, Mike, Twitter had a great day today. It ended up over 7%, ending the day at 7.48 here. It just really climbed up throughout the whole day besides at market open. I will say early on today, Mike, Twitter and a lot of stocks actually started dipping down right at market open, but they really recovered back in the middle of the day. Even the SPY recovered back up a lot throughout the day, and even at market close, it recovered back. So we've been seeing a lot of crazy movement here. But Twitter had even more news come out yesterday, Mike, and it seems like that they're just staying in the headlines here. You know, Jack Dorsey came out and actually criticized Twitter's board. You know, apparently there's been some plots and coups against, kind of like different ownership or like different owners of Twitter in the past, of course. Obviously, the board has had a lot of issues. Dorsey actually said himself, it's consistently been the dysfunction of the company. So that's interesting to see the ex-CEO say that. Dorsey's actually still on the board. He will be leaving, though, when his term expires at the 2022 meeting of shareholders at the end of May. So keep that in mind. But it's definitely pretty big words, Mike, from the ex-CEO. And, man, it just seems like Elon is just making a better case for taking this over day by day.
True that. Yeah, and Twitter stock had a really good day. I mean, you already said this, Tom, but 7.5%, that's pretty dang good. And, you know, at market open, it was not looking good at all, but it clearly came right back up. And it looks like someone's definitely buying a lot of shares given this controversy that's currently going on.
Yeah, they really are, and it's breaking out in a big way. And I'm curious if this is just hype with retail investors or if we're seeing big players start to get into this or not. But either way, I mean, Twitter's starting to go up, and I've been seeing lots of articles on CNBC, like people like Kramer and other people have been talking about Twitter, and, you know, they've been talking about it going up in pretty big ways if Musk buys it. So obviously we'll have to see what happens, but I personally hope Musk gets it. You know, I'm a big fan of Elon's, of course. He's done great with Tesla and other companies in the past. He's even made flamethrowers and crazy stuff like that, believe it or not. But it's just awesome to see him trying to do this. And obviously, this is a pretty crazy event that doesn't happen all the time. So it's cool to see it up 7%. And hopefully tomorrow, Mike, we might be able to get up to $50 or maybe even break out there.
Yep, we will see. So, Tom, what other news do we have going on in the markets?
Yeah, so there is some pretty crazy news from the CDC today. So as we know, airlines have been doing very well the past couple weeks, but today they actually dipped down a little bit. So AAL was down, we had Delta dipping back down, and there was actually some pretty good news that came out. So as we can see here, a Florida judge overturned the CDC's mask mandates for planes and public transit, pretty much saying that they overstepped their authority when they issued those mandates. So it's very interesting to see this. You know, I don't really care about the situation either way, other than I really think it's going to help the stocks, obviously, if they take the mandates away. So who knows? Maybe we'll start to see the airlines pop back up. They just reported great bookings. And I know just last week, Delta reported great earnings. So it's cool to see them kind of getting away from the mandates. And it's just nice to see the airlines doing well the past couple of weeks.
Yeah, they've been on a pretty good uptrend, and the market is definitely set to be very volatile over the next couple weeks, Tom. We have a lot of giant earnings on the way, and the bank stocks have been going very crazy over like the past couple days.
Yes, they have. So we actually have two pretty big ones that reported this morning, Bank of America and Charles Schwab. So they're really contrasting each other here. So Bank of America actually did great and was flying up this morning, but Charles Schwab did pretty bad here. So we'll go ahead and look at Bank of America first. We can see they ended up over 3.4% on the day, and they started ripping back to the upside after falling last week with JPM's earnings. But you know, I will say Charles Schwab reported some pretty bad numbers here, and they dipped down in a major way, Mike, down 9.4% at the end of the day, almost down 10% there. So the banks are all over the place. And I know JP Morgan fell last week in a pretty major way. It did recover up with Bank of America a little bit today, but overall, these earnings have been insane.
True that. So While the bank stocks have been all over the place, this is just the beginning, Tom. So show us what's on the schedule for later in the week.
Yeah, definitely. So tomorrow before open, I'm really going to be watching Lockheed Martin. That's really going to be really interesting to me with all the Ukraine and Russia news going on and everything like that. Obviously, we've been sending equipment over there, so that's going to be big. Johnson and Johnson and Halliburton will also be pretty good before open tomorrow. But after close, Mike, we have Netflix and IBM. Obviously, Netflix is a huge company, and we have to really look at those numbers there. Their monthly active users and subscriber numbers are going to be very crucial to watch. So keep that in mind. And of course, Mike, Wednesday's big. We have Tesla and Procter and Gamble, but Tesla there after close Wednesday is going to be really important, along with United Airlines. So obviously, the airlines are continuing to report too.
All right, there we go. I know a bunch of people are going to be watching Tesla on Wednesday after close, and then just next week we have Apple and Microsoft.
Yeah, that's going to be big next week. And let's actually see how Apple and Microsoft did today, because I know that they were kind of falling off there in pre-market, but you can see Apple ended up closing negative 0.13%, right around the closing price of Friday. And they're actually up a little bit in after hours. So they're kind of holding their ground here, Mike. And I will say it was looking pretty bad to start the day, but a lot of these stocks held their ground. And like we said, even the SPY ended up holding up today. But, Microsoft ended up actually up in the green. So it's pretty good to see these stocks at least doing decent today whenever a lot of the growth plays were in the red.
Sounds good. So, Tom, with all of these stocks just going all over the place right now, what are some of your favorite setups for the rest of the week?
So obviously we've been talking a lot about Twitter and the airlines. I think Twitter is going to be a really cool setup here. Oh, wow. Actually, Twitter just had a crazy candle here in after hours. This might just be a weird print or a glitch here on Thinkorswim, but man, I'm really going to keep my eyes on Twitter, obviously. If they start breaking out, this one can make for some really nice momentum plays. But what really caught my eye today was the semiconductor sector. We had some stocks like AMD, NVIDIA, Intel, you name it. They were pretty much up today. Even Qualcomm and Micron were in the green. So these chip stocks started really ripping up. Even Tesla was kind of flying back up this morning. So I'm going to really keep these stocks on the radar. Obviously, AMD and NVIDIA have been powerhouses lately, and AMD's been falling below $100, and they've been selling off. So I'm going to really keep my eyes on them for a possible recovery here. I'm not expecting them to kill it or anything like that, but if we do see the market keep holding up like we are, I think these chips might do pretty good to end the week.
All right, there we go. And I just want to say something really quickly. If you guys liked the videos, make sure to subscribe. We post brand new videos every single day. And if you're new here, you have nothing to lose. So definitely smash that subscribe button. But Tom, let's get right into the momentum plays for tomorrow. With the first one, we have Apple to the downside.
Yeah, Apple here. Let's go ahead and make them break below the low of day, right around 163.60.
With the next one, we have Palantir also to the downside.
Yeah, these growth plays got really hammered, especially early on, but go ahead and make Palantir break below $12 even.
All right, and then with the last one, we have Chewy to the upside.
Yeah, Chewy here. Go ahead and make them break above $40. That's actually a nice even level to look at.
All right, so we're watching Chewy for a potential day trade to the upside, only if it breaks above the levels Tom listed. And then we are watching Apple and Palantir for potential day trades to the downside tomorrow, only if they break below the levels Tom listed. And then before we move on, Tom, I just want to give a giant shout out to our member of the day, the Tangy Man. So huge shout out to the Tangy Man in the YouTube comments down below. Thank you so much for all of the support and comments you leave us. But Tom, we definitely have to showcase that bot play from today as well. Our hybrid bot sniped Zoom today. So we can see it signaled the Zoom 104 strike call options that expired this week. Called it out at $325 each. And it ended up running all the way to $470 each, which is a 44.6% increase in just a couple hours. It basically called the bottom, and it was just an awesome play. Of course, not every single play is a winner, but this one was pretty awesome. The bot does very well. You won't find it anywhere else. So if you trade options, make sure to check out that first link in the description and the comments down below. Like I said, the bot is pretty dang good. You're not going to find it anywhere else, and it's awesome if you trade options. If you do decide to sign up, you'll also get access to swing plays, other custom bots, a great community, access to Tom and myself, premium selling plays. So if you like the short options, that works. We have other bonus day trade setups and a bunch of other features. Also, you can cancel at any time, and we have a coupon running. Check it all out with that first link in the description and the comments down below. But Tom, do you have any last minute thoughts before we close the video?
Yeah, I just can't forget that Powell's speaking later in the week, of course, on Thursday. It's nothing too important, but he is going to be speaking on Thursday at a couple different events. It's nothing like the FOMC or anything like that. It's more of like at the monetary funds debate and different stuff. So definitely keep that on the radar, but I don't think that'll shake the markets up too much right now. I think the markets are dealing with enough with Elon Musk and Twitter, of course, and everything like that going on, especially with Russia. But look at this in after hours, Mike. Twitter is actually approaching $50 a share. So we're continuing to rip to the upside. I wonder how high we will open up tomorrow. And like we said earlier, seems like there's definitely some big buyers coming in here.
Tom, you have to give us some levels for tomorrow. What are like the most important resistance and support levels for Twitter?
Yeah, so the big one for me is going to be $50, but who knows? We might break that in pre-market or after hours here. So definitely watch $50. But, there was a big resistance up there around $54 in after hours, or I should say in pre-market. Obviously, like last Thursday, whenever it was announced that Elon might join the board. So hopefully we see Twitter get back up to 54. That would be awesome if it was able to get back up there. But who knows? That's going to be a big resistance. And definitely watch it, though, because if we look at Twitter on like a 1-year daily chart, Mike, if it breaks above $54 there, I think we could start to have a pretty nice breakout. So hopefully Twitter keeps running because it's definitely having the momentum. And man, I love to see stocks moving like this because it's been a while since we've had a stock have this type of hype.
There we go. So thank you guys so much for watching today's video. Remember, if you trade options, make sure to check out that first link in the comments and the description down below. Besides that, let's have a great rest of the week.